What is your current relationship with the person you lost your virginity to? Haven't seen her in 36 years. Whenever I see somebody that looks remotely like her. Long lost. I doubt she'd even recognize me anymore. Not like she knew you back then. Edit. Thanks for the gold. Stranger. My first gilding. He liked one of my photos on Instagram a month ago and then deleted his account the next day. Well, that's one way to deal with it happening. A Facebook like here and there. I guess you could say things are getting pretty serious. We're married. 50th anniversary next October. A few weeks afterward we broke up. And a few weeks after that, she and the secret boyfriend she had the whole time slashed the tires on my truck and covered it in syrup and rice. As a renewal of their love and commitments to each other. We don't talk. Slashed truck tires and rice 3/10. We're together 5 years. She broke off our engagement. Didn't speak to her for 2 years. Ironically enough, she was a photographer at our mutual friend's wedding. I asked to visit her dogs since I had not seen them since breakup and they still remembered me after all the time passed. Glad you and the pups are still on friendly terms. It's been 8 years and she still texts me some nonsensical shit like where are you? Comma. Bring some milk. We'll have dinner at my mom's tonight. It might be because we're married. Though. I hope I never have to call for an ambulance because he's an EMT and I'd rather die trying to get myself to the hospital than see him again. You get knocked out in an accident. None. She's dead. We dated at 16. Went all the way but broke up not long after. Remained friends and when we were 18. She was diagnosed with schizophrenia. 5 years after that. She died by suicide. That was 9 years ago in May and I'm still friends with her family. I married her. 2 kids. We're SCRping by and it's a wonderful life. She's taking a crap right now. She called me out of the blue a few months after we last banged. What's up? I asked. I'm pregnant. As I wondered if the Navy would accept 16-year-old, she finished with its Tobies. Have you seen him around? I avoided her after that. Conversations usually go like this. Him. Totally out of the blue, hey how are you? Me. Fine. Thinking why are you messaging me? How are your wife and kids? Him. They live in another state. I hate my mother. Me. Sorry to hear that. Well, it was great hearing from you. Him. Your sister thinks we should get back together. Me. No. No she doesn't. I'm married. It's been almost 20 years. I was 15. He was 19. He has lots of kids. And baby mamas. Sure dodge a bullet there. I've been with my husband for 15 years. Married for 5. I'm not interested. We dated for a couple years. Then she dumped me. 2 days later she was dating my best friend. I suspect she cheated on me with him while we were together. But have no proof. Anyway. They got married. A few years into the marriage she cheated on him with a coworker. Leading him to divorce her. She wanted to just have fun with the guy. She was mid-20s. And he was 18. But she got pregnant. As far as I know she's still with the guy and have 2 kids together. Seems like you dodged a bullet there. I saw her on Facebook in a mutual friend's post. She's still cute. I got drunk and messaged him about 2 years ago. Because he popped into my head in an I wonder how he's doing kind of way. Anyway, I was drunk. Opened his Facebook page on my mobile. And couldn't make sense of the page. And assumed he had deleted me. So I sent. Thanks for deleting me, that's not nice, what the hell man. He wrote back. What? And then I still realized we were actually still Facebook friends. I was just a fool. And closed the conversation and tried not to think about that conversation ever again. Until now. Thanks. Reddit. He is in prison for murdering the girl he broke up with me for. Edit. I'm not with him. I was 15 and now I'm older. Lol. He shot her. Crazy shitty. He was in a rival gang from her brother and did a drive-by at his house and shot her instead. Haven't seen her in years. Shortly after she dropped out of high school she went to prison for heroin. A little Facebook snooping shows me she's now in college. Has a kid. And a husband with a good job. She looks happy. Good for her. Glad she bounced back. I married him. 4 boys and 27 years later. You meant that as for sons, right? She cheated on me and I f***ing hate her now. Banged her when I was 15. I'm 41 now. Banged her last night. So you banged her twice. Nice. Still good friends. We live in different cities but hang out when we can. Platonically these days. Married. Interesting really. She took my virginity and then f***ed my best friend. Which was awful. I lost my GF and my best friend. I got over it though and everything is great now. Thank God I don't think about it nearly 8 years later lol. However, I recently moved to a new gym and her new husband work out there. After about 3 weeks of her seeing my face several times a week at the gym. She moved to a new gym which I assume is to avoid her own self-shaming. So who's the real winner now? Her new gym? I'm his widow. Edit. Thanks for the gilding. Stranger. I haven't spoke to them in years. She called me out of nowhere with her boyfriend at the time about 2 years after we quit dating. Because some commercial came on and made her think of me. Years later. She sent me a Facebook friend request and I accepted. But apparently she deleted me at some point. Whatever. Got laid. Not together. But we still FCK occasionally. 13 years later that PSSY is still atomic. Careful. Atomic PSSY can lead to nuclear family. Was a one night stand. So not a clue what she's doing now. She broke up with me 2 weeks before high school graduation because she was a self-proclaimed wanderlust who didn't want to settle down too young. One of her dreams was to live in a treehouse in Belize at some point. 10 years later. She isn't more than an hour drive from our high school whereas I've seen most of the United States and been to several countries including Belize. During which I stayed in a cabana in the jungle. Wow, this is cathartic. We went out for 4 awesome years. Then she dumped me out of the blue and f***ed a dude who I thought was my friend less than 2 weeks later. That was last week and I'm a f***ing wreck right now. Edit. Thank you all. Your kind words helped more than you could know. I'm the one that got away. She's tried a number of times to get us back together over the years. But she cheated. No second chances with that. Still friends with her and her husband. After 42 years. We had a foursome once too. But that was 35 years ago. Snorting coke to get it done. Attached to my arm haha sobs. Or. Close bracket. Oh. I'm Facebook friends with his wife. Who is the girl he left me for? I'm FB friends with him. Too. But he never posts anything. Their kid is not cute. And she got super fat. This makes me happy. I'm a terrible person. Don't remember her last name. I'm Facebook friends with her. And so is my wife. Strangers. We've never met, yet. We are actually celebrating 12 years together today. He and I took each other's in high school. And we couldn't be happier. Edit. I'm extremely happy that this is my top comment. He's the ex I roll my eyes at when he posts on Facebook. I buy weed from her now. Edit. She is now my twin brother's sister-in-law. Edit so y'all can stop wondering. My twin married her sister. We were dating sisters for a while. It was really convenient for carpooling and double dates. So your brother married her brother. Got it? He's a farmer somewhere in Ohio. Never looked him up on social media, but he was wife hunting even back in the day. We broke up because he refused to brush his teeth for a week. The restraining order is still active. Married. 32 years. She's voting Trump. Engaged to him. And have kids. She became a lesbian about a week after we screwed and was talking to her now girlfriend while we were still dating. Whoa. Way to FCK the straight out of someone. Ross would be proud. None. Dude fell off the face of the earth and it's a mystery to everyone I knew in high school. One of the smartest PPL I've met, but like the so smart you can't handle so you start doing a lot of acid and barely gradual type. 18-year-old me was way into this. Heard a rumor he died but Google him and got nada. Hope he's still out there somewhere. Wife. We don't talk anymore. I married her and we're expecting our first child in September. I went to my folks' house and had to drive past HS. I learned through FB a while back she is now the dance team coach. Her and the dance team was out running on the street. At the stop sign she looked my way and I waved. She quickly looked away. The optimist in me thinks she hasn't seen me in 9 years. Has no idea the car I drive. Had no idea it was me. And is prob used to weirdos waving and honking at HS dance girls running in shorts and sports bras. But the realist in me thinks she knew exactly who his was. I hate that SLT's guts and I hope there is a hell for her to burn in. Let the hate flow through you. I'm guessing this is going to get buried. But we were both in hospital. 14 years old. And both diagnosed with life-altering conditions. She was this pretty blonde girl. Just told that her brain didn't like her, seizures etc. Close bracket. We knew each other a week. And did it in an unused room. It was furtive and urgent. It was awkward afterwards. Saw her again about 5 years later while shopping with my mum. She was looking good. We did it again. Never heard from her again. Though never dwelt on it. We haven't met yet. Happily married with 3 kids in a white picket fence house. In high school she had an open relationship with her long-term boyfriend in college. So she used to SLT it up, including with me in the girls' bathroom on the 2nd floor the day after Valentine's Day. Felt weird meeting her BF a month later for her birthday party. Everyone thought they weren't going to last with her pretty much being the school SLT. Instead they are happily married living in the suburbs. While nearly everyone else from our class of 2007 is a single mom or divorced. Last 3 girls I've dated were 21, 22, and 24. I dumped her. Then my friend dumped her. Then my other friend dumped her. Then my other friend dumped her. And then she married the only other single guy she knew. And now she bitches about him on Facebook. He was older. Using hard drugs. Cheated a lot. Cheated on me with my friend's mom. Moved out of state. Took things that were sentimental to me. Had a kid. And has been internet stalking me for years. I have zero contact. Just immediately block each time. His sister saw me at a bar and tried to jump me. I hid in an alley. I'm a 20-year-old male. I'm sitting watching Netflix with her right now while browsing Reddit. My first love. Kiss. SX. And relationship. And hopefully my last. Still my uncle. He turned out to be an abusive, manipulative asshole, and currently I'm doing my best to move to another country because I have nightmares where he shows up at my house and tries to take my kid away. He phones on my son's birthday and on Christmas, so I spend those days having panic attacks waiting for him to call. TL. DR. Wouldn't piss on him if he was on fire. Hope he gets sacrificed to Satan like he tried to do to me. Haven't talked to her since we broke up 15 years ago. She then publicly and falsely accused me of RP, then a year later told a mutual friend to tell me she realized I never RP'd her. Edit for some more background. We dated for 9 months. Heavy petting for the first 6 months, then we had sex many times over the last 3 months of our relationship. This ended when she stopped having periods. She immediately went with her mother for an extended weekend to city known for doing abortions. She denies pregnancy abortion. Then the allegations come out. How did she realize you never RP'd her? Isn't that something she's definitely no? Edit. Thank you for the gold. Lovely stranger. Unfortunately, I'm removing the comment. Shout out to everyone who made it a point to call me a terrible person. On the next Maury, I ain't gonna judge. Always lends me a hand. He's my ex. But I bought him a game on Steam because he answered his phone at midnight for me a couple weeks ago while I was having a meltdown. Hypothetical.